All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling airy? Today I'm going to deliver a message of the word joy, the message of the word DeJoy. But today I want you guys to follow me through this message of the word DeJoy, whether or not he has joy down in his heart. Today my message will be a little bit different than any other message, so if you don't like to hear me being animated, please do click on to the next video. Today we shall talk about the message of DeJoy. DeJoy defends his legacy to Congress, even as he acknowledges USPS is falling short of its goals. The Postmaster General leaves workforce cuts and major operational changes on the table as the post office confronts unforeseen headwinds to its financial stability. The Postal Service could see additional workforce reductions. Shall we look into the book of Postal Biblioteca and see what postal reductions means? That means an attempt to eliminate offerings as it deems too costly. The agency's chief told lawmakers on Wednesday, though he expressed optimism that his reforms will soon stabilize its operations. That doesn't mean that the operation is going to fail. That means that somebody may be without work or a job position. Can we speak about the word joy, Mr. DeJoy? Do you have the joy within your heart? I say, do you have the word of joy in DeJoy's heart? I'm curious because months ago, somebody came on to the YouTube and said he was concerned about all these changes. And he wanted to know how these changes affected our postal workforce. How is it going to affect the carriers? How is it going to affect the clerks, the truck drivers, and everybody in between? And people fretted their nose up and said, oh, that seems foolish. That seems like he's gaslighting. That seems like he is an antagonist and he's trying to spark a flame where there is no fire. But I say unto you, 7 months ago, this is what he said.
Yeah, I'm worried because I read an article last week and this can pertain to me, but it definitely pertains to everybody's jobs, young, old, new, everything that has to do with this post office and all the new changes. It affects the drivers, it's gonna affect the clerks, it's gonna affect the mail handlers, it's gonna affect the techs, it's gonna affect the building maintenance, every single person. What am I talking about? This is just an article. This is an article and I'm gonna read it and I'll try to break it down the best way I can for you. This month, the Postal Service will begin implementing a massive initiative to change how the mail is delivered. This is going to affect carriers as well. All right. Instead of working out of the back of post offices, letter carriers will be relocated to large, centralized facilities called sorting and delivery centers, SNDCs. These SNDCs will be housed in a currently operating processing center, large post offices, and eventually one of the new multifunctional mega plants the post office plans to create over the next few years.
Spaces are already being prepared in Atlanta, Indianapolis, and Charlotte, where the Postal Service has leased a 6,200,000 square foot facility almost adjacent to large Amazon warehouse. This is going to be a few parts to this because I can't break this whole thing down in one session, but understand what's going on here. First thing that I see is that they're going to be taking the same map, the same layout, the same structure as an Amazon distribution center. So if Amazon has their people all located in one spot, they don't have a bunch of little facilities like we have. Those people will go fill those big vans up and go out and start delivering, right? And then they go back, get the remainder, and go out. And sometimes they drive 30 miles, I believe, from the facility. We're going to get to that in a minute. But notice that we have these new LLV. The vehicles are replacing the LLVs. Those big vans, notice how big they are compared to the LLV. There's a reason for everything that's happening. All of this stuff is starting to fall into play. Pay attention to the signs around you. Because when I spoke to a couple of my senior people in management, all of them seemed to come into the same agreement. I'm not going to be around when the time comes. I'm retiring in a few years. It's not going to affect me. That's the answer that they gave me. But let's continue. The effect on postal employees will be significant. As discussed in this previous post, tens of thousands of letter carriers will find themselves working at an SNDC that's much farther from where they live, meaning longer commutes, more driving times, and more transportation expensive. Follow me, this is the best part. Postmasters and managers will see their positions downgraded because they don't have the carriers to supervise. Thousands of clerks at post offices will become unnecessary since they won't need to provide the support for the carriers. They will be among the 50,000 positions that the Postmaster General says he plans to eliminate. I think I'm gonna just stop there. Amazing, isn't it? Some people forget so soon that weird man with the long beard said it was concerned. And if you go back and watch that video, he speaks on the very day that was today and says some people should be concerned as others need not. But let us continue to elaborate. Everyone is saying, well, why do you say that, Mr. J? Why? And I say unto you, observe what our Postmaster General Louis DeJoy has said. And please go into this with an open mind and tell me if it's alarming to you.
You know, it seems like everybody in the industry is forging ahead with in this economic environment. They put a pause on expanding operations, but the Postal Service continue to move ahead with investments in new equipment and facilities. Are you getting your money's worth for those investments, and who's paying for them? Is there an expected timeline for return on this investment?
Well,
I'm out of time.
So yes, there is a timeline. We plan to roll out a new network and over the next 3 to 5 years is what our strategy. And we have a tremendous embedded infrastructure that has been significantly deteriorated. We have deferred maintenance of $6-7 billion, and this is really what the expansion is. At the end of, when we get done with this, right now we have 400 locations that we move mail and packages across the nation in. We're going to move that into 60. into 60 locations. We're just going to be consolidating. So we'll get, we spend, we're getting our money. We have to execute, and that's another thing. The increased yield to 60 million is the operation. The organization is operating more professionally, with more organized manner, because we have to compete with the commercial marketplace to get our package business. But yes, I'm pretty confident that we have a very deliberate process. We have a long-term plan that sets parameters that we work through and guide, and our investments are reviewed and competed. We're not the same bureaucratic type of organization we were in the past, because we have to move. If I don't get this done, if we don't get this done in a short time frame, we're going to run out of money.
All right.
So here we sit, Postal family, far and near. I ask you, should we be concerned? Should we be worried? Should we get rid of Mr. DeJoy less? Because we don't have that power. Or should we prepare for the worst and hope for the best? I turn to you and ask you, Postal family, to please be optimistic and realistic in your responses, because this is a battle that we shall wage against all of the... No, we ain't waging no damn war. I'm just kidding about that. But no, seriously, what are we gonna do when he's blatantly saying exactly what his plans are? If you tell me that you plan to close my doors, and you have the power to close my doors, and your intent is to cut money because my doors are costing you too much, then I should be worried. Or should I be? That's the question. Please, don't clown on me for my animation. That's just me being animated, okay? All right, there's always that one that's gonna say something slick. But Postal family, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Tell me what we gonna do. I guess it's time for me to answer a question. First question was from one of my own. You know who you are, Home Skillet. We on the chat group all the time. He asked, how do you access your TSP if you can't get through light blue? Because he wanted to see how much he was investing, how much they were going. Well, I say, because no question is really a dumb question. TSP.gov. If you guys are career, you're coming in as PTF, set yourself up your account through TSP.gov. Also, once you create your password, text yourself, take the password, stick it on your refrigerator, because you do not want to be locked out of there. It'll also help you. Just go in there and figure that out. I don't give any financial advice, so please don't ask me how. But that's how you go and see what your investments are. All right. Second question was, again, about this BMG money thing. I thought I said you had to be at the post office for a minimum of a year. Every state has a different, timeline, I guess, according to, what it is. If you just check them out, you go onto their main page, you scroll down and see if they service your state. I can only pass on but so much information. You have to be at the post office a minimum of a year, and you have to set up an allotment. The allotment is set up through light blue. Again, I guess it's no dumb questions, but that's how you do it. Only use it if this is free advice. Only use it if you really need it. There are some people that really need to borrow money right now. So only use it if you need it. And that's the extent of the advice I'll give on that. But yeah, just click the link. You check to see if it services your state. They charge a ridiculous, well, I can't say ridiculous, 25% usually. And, just pay it off as fast as you can. And they don't service every state. That was the question. And that's pretty much all I got to say about this. Please leave your comments below. You want to see the whole video, just kind of Google that, go on YouTube and watch the whole thing. It was 3 hours long. And there's so much more to what DeJoy said. I don't even know, it is alarming because, you know, he is a businessman. And where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Please, you know, if you guys are discussing things with other people, be respectful of each other. We all are entitled to an opinion. All right, this is JH. We out.